Hi everybody, my name is Tyler and today I'm going to review Wealthfront. So Wealthfront is an online investment platform that can essentially automate most of the steps of investment. So you just connect your bank and it will automatically do the risk profile based on answering a few questions at the beginning of enrollment. So it kind of determines what the amount of risk that you're willing to tolerate. And a lot of this should be based on your age. So if you're younger, you're probably able to tolerate more risk. But if you're older, you should be less risky because you're nearing retirement. Once you've created that risk profile, it will split up the percentage of your investment based on that level of risk tolerance, and then the amount of money that you invest will be placed into those different areas like US stocks or foreign stocks, even bonds and cash are all part of this. You can also set up automatic transactions where you can invest money from your bank that you connect. The connection process between the bank and Wealthfront is actually pretty straightforward. It was very fast for me. I didn't have any problems. I connected a local bank and I also connected a national bank, all without issue. So for the most part, it seems like if you have a routing number and account number, you can connect to Wealthfront as long as there's no issue there. So today I'm going to give kind of an overview of the desktop platform for Wealthfront. Of course, there is an Android app, but because of the encryption, it didn't let me do screen record, so I figured I would just use the desktop application because all those same features are available on both the desktop and on the mobile application. So this is the front page of the Wealthfront account, and you can see it's really interesting because you can adjust your retirement age, and that will determine how much you're going to save into retirement. So if you retire early, let's say 55, they will help you determine if that's enough for you to retire. And so by that point, you will have saved. So let's say you save about $2,000 a month. You'll save, uh, your investment will be about 380,000, and then most of that by that point will be um, the gains that you made in your investments. So this is actually $1,000 a month. And if you are spending $1,700 a month in retirement, then according to this, the amount of principal or the amount that you're going will slow down because you're actually spending your money, but you still will have uh, plenty if that's what your monthly spending is. Of course, um, this is based on some rosy projections. So if you adjust this, you can see more accurately what you're likely to need when you're in retirement. So I thought this was pretty interesting on the projections. I like how it tells you your net worth today and then what your likely net worth at retirement is, depending on when you're going to retire. Over here, you can see your savings overview, how much your average is, and what your plan is. So if you're meeting that or going over it, it can tell you. And then it also shows you your pending transactions. So if you have a recurring deposit, it'll warn you about that over on the right-hand side. What I like is the investment account. You can set it up to be either very conservative or very or less risk averse. So they can be more aggressive in how they are um, investing. And so over time, you can see how the portfolio has grown. The net deposits for a while were roughly the same, and then it started to process more. So down here, I really like is they can show you what you've actually invested and when. So and what some of the key events that happened. So if they had losses or if there was a process, and then you can hone more in on 2020 over here. So you can see that by September, I started to invest more. Periodically, I set up an automatic investment, so it was putting in money every week, and then the amount started to grow over time. Of course, over here, it actually lost money compared to the net deposits because, of course, the downturn. But since then, it has pretty consistently grown. Here you can see your portfolio, what their target is. So because the largest percentage is in the U.S. stocks, so of course this is a more growth-oriented strategy. You can see where it says the risk score is at 8, and so there's very little cash and very little municipal bonds, although the target is a little bit higher. But the return is pretty substantial, even on municipal bonds, 9%, and then pretty healthy 30% over here on the U.S. stocks. Pretty amazing, actually. So we can look at the year to date. Foreign stocks haven't done so well this year, obviously. But the US has done pretty well, 11% return. So, anyway, I think this is a pretty amazing setup where it's automatically diversifying that portfolio. Of course, you can transfer funds and put money in. And then you can also open new accounts. So what's really cool with this is you can do, for example, Roth IRA for retirement investing. They have a high interest cash, although 0.35% isn't so high interest. You can do better than that. But it used to be actually quite good. It was 2% last year, but then it's been consistently going down. Then you have college investing, so a 529 plan, you can set that up directly in your Wealthfront account. I set up a Roth IRA, but because of my tax situation, um, I was not really able to invest in as much as I thought in the Roth IRA, so I had to get those funds out of the Roth IRA, and they were able to process that without too much problem. And so the Roth IRA and the limited amount that I can put in there was a pretty healthy 14% weighted return. So um, not not too bad. And so they can also adjust. You can have a different risk score on your different portfolios. Um, and you can set up repeating deposits, of course. So here I have the same risk score of 8, so the portfolio is approximately the same, although the percentages are a little bit different in this particular account. Now that we know what the platform looks like, I wanted to give a few thoughts about the overall experience I've had with Wealthfront. So I've used other apps like Robinhood and even Acorns. Wealthfront so far has been pretty seamless and easy to use because you aren't involved in the actual distribution of that money. So because it automates it, this is really good, I think, for beginning investors who aren't totally aware of what specific stocks or even index funds that they perhaps should invest in. and also because you can automatically deposit money and it will put that money into the investment portfolio that they've created for you. I think that's a really great option because you can just set it up and not really think about it all the time, and you can, occasionally go in and take a look at how it is faring in the market. The other thing I like about Wealthfront is that it has a lot of different options for the types of investment accounts. Like I showed, you can have a college account, you can have a retirement account, a Roth IRA, you can have a cash savings account with interest. So there's a lot of different options, and it's really a great place to project where you're going to be and what you need to do in order to meet your financial goals. So for all of those reasons, I think that Wealthfront is a pretty great app for beginning investors and even those investors that want to place money and have it automated and not think about it all the time. So if you found some help in this video and had any kind of questions, I hope that you can leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the Wealthfront app. Thanks, everybody.